Well, Jesus, Alex. All right, real quick before we tackle the Batman, because I think we're probably going to rant on that one.
Well, we're going to talk about a terrible movie.
Which one?
Moonfall.
No, Moonfall's fantastic.
It is the worst movie, but
no, it's excellent.
It's the worst movie.
No. Take this part of your brain where it's like logic. You turn that off. You don't need it. Actually, as a matter of fact, no. Keep it like humming just to the point where you could be like, "Oh, I don't think so." And then I don't think that works. Oh no, Moonfall. Moonfall is I talked a little bit about it on the senior year review with Lady Alex because it turned my day around because I was having such a bad time trying to watch senior year 3 times. By the way, don't see it. Rebel Wilson.
You watched it 3 times?
I tried to watch senior year 3 times before we finished it.
You watched it 3 times in full?
No. No. The amount of vomiting I did watching senior year means I could never watch it in full. I've got a better joke, so it can't all be hits. It's a numbers game. Yeah, Moonfall. Go ahead. Give me your hot take on Moonfall.
It was... It was a train wreck, but one of the hilarious ones?
Yeah.
Like the ones, I don't know, the one where it just kind of keeps crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 trains crash into each other, and then a 3rd train joins in.
It's the Blues Brothers, but of moon things. Just like science being completely, totally batshit insane.
At one point, the moon is rolling across the Earth.
Yep.
And
right across the atmosphere.
It doesn't actually touch the Earth, I guess, but...
Parts of it definitely slam into the Earth.
You can see it from above, and it's like rolling across the Earth itself, not just the atmosphere. And the characters are like looking at it like it's coming at them. They're like, ah! And this is like a third of the movies of people like running from the moon.
They shouldn't call it Moonfall. They should call it Moonstalk because they treat the moon as if it's deliberately hunting them. Like, yeah, it's so funny.
Well, it just ends like it's every Roland Emmerich movie in one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all the same. Giant problem starts. People like crazy guy discovers weird problem.
No, because it starts with the truth being suppressed. Remember? Because he's like,
Yes,
I saw a bunch of those things from Big Hero 6 attack the moon.
Okay, but it starts with supposed
Talking about Toto.
guy who is eventually vindicated believes in something, and then everyone mocks him for. They really mock him. They turn his life into a dumpster fire for a very long time.
Yep.
By horrifically mocking him and outcasting him from society. Mm-hmm. They spend like 20 minutes doing that in every Roland Emmerich movie. Just like, no, you're trash and your kids hate you. Do Roland Emmerich's kids hate him? Does he have kids?
I don't know.
Because if he has kids, I think they hate him.
We've got 2 bad dads in this movie, though.
We've got every bad parent in this movie. I don't know. And then that guy leaves his cat. He's a bad cat dad.
He leaves him with his mom.
Yeah, but pretty sure she's dead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's dead when he leaves.
I'm pretty sure there are a lot of dead people. We just never see any of them.
Yes, but like every Roland Emmerich movie.
Except the stepdad. He dies almost...
Heroically.
He dies in the dumbest way possible.
But heroically.
He does save a kid's life.
I'm going to go out there. Here, have my gas. But so every Roland Emmerich movie, it starts with about 20 minutes of just these characters getting shit on for being crazy. Just absolutely dumped on and outcast from society. And now they're alcoholic. They're just these.
Well, we have two. We have 2.
Well, then
outcasts.
we have the one that never was in society.
Right.
We have the one that was.
Yeah, you're right.
And then they discover that, oh my gosh, they're right. The moon is going to crash into the Earth, and it is a mega structure because the moon it's not just a moon.
It's a Dyson sphere.
It's a Dyson sphere with a dwarf star inside of it from another planet.
Yep, that's it. And they developed an AI, but it's like, imagine like your like Alexa decided it was going to kill you. And that's kind of what it did.
I don't have Alexa anymore.
Adele's trying to kill me and the toaster's been laughing at me.
It kept sending me single bullets with my name etched on the side.
Whoa, it's doing its best. Yeah, no, Moonfall, it's just the dumbest, most fun popcorn kind of, like, it's so bad. None of it makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, when they're done with the whole explanation thing, then...
It doesn't make it better.
They're like, how do we solve the moon crashing into the Earth?
Kill the nanobots and the moon will correct itself.
Well, the government comes with a plan with we nuke it.
Hashtag nuke the moon.
How do you, like, you could turn it into a nuclear hellscape, but you can't blow it up. It's a moon. Like, you can't even blow up, like, the ground under a city. When you drop a nuclear bomb on a city,
Yeah.
Some structures get blown up. People get evaporated, but you don't crush the ground underneath it. Mm-hmm. And their plan is to nuke the moon.
Nuke the moon. Gotta nuke something.
And they only get stopped because someone calls them and says, "Don't nuke the moon yet." And they're like, "No, they don't even call him.
No, they don't even call him.
He has no information that they're going to solve it."
The guy's like, "My ex-wife is on the moon, and I think she's gonna do it. I refuse this."
And he doesn't even know what they're doing on the moon.
No.
I don't think they even tell him they're going after the megastructure, but maybe they do. It doesn't matter.
The people, even if they believe that the moon is a megastructure, their idea to nuke it makes less sense.
Yes.
Because you're not going to hit. Because think about this. Let's say you can destroy like the moon, right? Just like the space dust that creates the crust of the moon.
Sure.
You now just have an uncontained dwarf star hovering around your planet. I don't think that's great.
Well, in their plan, I don't think they recognize that there's a dwarf star in the middle of the moon.
Yeah, it's in the Dyson sphere thing. Yeah, no, it's just dumb. The movie is so stupid, but
didn't the moon have more mass? Oh, right, because of the sun.
Because that's an engine too, and that's
the sun did.
Yeah, and then because it was saying it manipulates its mass, and that's how it keeps itself in orbit and stuff like that. It's kind of like just a gravity well engine or something like that. There's this part briefly where the nanobots come out of the moon, and the moon tries to self-correct. And then they go back in the moon and it starts falling again, or stalking as I prefer. I feel the moon stalk. Look out, here comes the moon, people say. And like the guy runs into a building and they're safe. That's not how fucking gravity works. It was moving a tractor, it's gonna move a human. Like
inside the building, yeah.
Yeah.
But so they get to this, they're okay, so oh my god, how do you describe this movie? I'm trying to succinct the plot. So because I don't care about spoilers.
No, we did.
This movie. But
I'm gonna put spoilers at the top of everything.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy guy turns out to be right.
Yeah.
Crazy guy is at a convention for moon conspiracy theorists. They're in a hotel. The moon floods the hotel, and so they go upstairs and take a nap.
They sure do.
And then
the
government sends in agents armed to the teeth to extract them into a Guantanamo Bay style room.
Yeah, why would they rescue them just to put them in lockdown?
And then they're like, "Tell us what you know about the moon." How did you know about the moon?
Who told you about it?
Where is it?
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. It's like all this stuff talking about the moon. It's like, well, so that's like, how did the government not observe it? Well, it turns out they did. They just didn't care.
Well, they knew the moon was weird. They just didn't know that.
They knew there were nanobots up there, remember? Because they were building the EMP, and then they said it was too expensive.
Oh, right. It turned out, they did learn that in the secret government archives, which convinced them to finally do the mission.
The EMP's too expensive, so Earth's just going to die one day. What you going to do?
One day soon.
Hashtag nuke the moon. Yeah, no, it's awful. It's terrible. But
then they, because of the Chinese funding, they mentioned the Chinese space station.
Oh, all the time.
And in a lot of these, in a lot of these movies, they'll do that, and then the Chinese people really help, and we have unity between them, and it's a nice thing.
The movie was funded mostly by independent Chinese bank.
But it's a nice thing when they're like, here's two people working together that normally wouldn't in order to solve this problem.
Only they don't.
In this movie, no, they're just like, oh, the Chinese have said they'll help,
yeah,
and then they're like, no, let's take this out of commissioned spacecraft from a museum.
Well, they do use the new Chinese space maneuvering and space rover, but there's no Chinese people on the mission. There's the one. There's Talk Soon who's running around, and you could eliminate any of that, and you'd save an hour. It's not. The movie's.
But the extra hour works.
It's very, it's fun. It's fun. Get a couple friends together and just watch the Moonfall. Awesome stuff.
I love the twist at the end where it was a civilization of humans billions of years ago who sent out moons all across the universe, and this is the last moon that hasn't been found, and the moon created the Earth.
The moon did create the Earth.
By spinning in circles around it to create enough gravity to put the Earth together.
Well, you remember...
and then seed it with their genetics.
After humanity was essentially eliminated by the AI they created...
remember, there's apparently good AI, because...
Yeah. the Battlestar Moon was like, Earth, I know where it is. And then again, Earth is any planet we make it. And in this case, they just made it. It's essentially just Battlestar Galactica, but with warring AIs, I suppose.
Well, then there's one AI after billions of years finds it. Literally 4 billion years.
Yeah, space is big. Forget about it.
Yeah, but then it's not going to be
They disguised it as a moon, Alex.
It's going to be hey, other dudes, we got this one. But I guess that might take 4 billion years for the next one to get there.
Well, they were trying to set up as a franchise at the end too when they scan Samwell into the moon. It's like, you're part of the moon now, which is, I actually think they say you're part of the moon now.
And his cat.
Well, his cat's not there. They're reading his consciousness. And then they're like, let's begin now. Dun, dun, dun.
Moonfall 2. Mooner Faller. Moon has fallen. Morgan Freeman is the president. Dude. The moon is coming for him.
Moonfall 2. Lunar eclipse. Right, but in space it wouldn't. Moonfall 2. Full moon rising.
Bad moon rising.
Yeah. That's it?
A second moon shows up.
Warring moons. That's funny. God.
Oh, it was such a dumpster fire.
It was. I loved it, though.
But in the best way.
All right. Well, suppose you wanted to talk about the Batman.